Welcome to Ella's Beefeaster's Radio Air Check and Classic TV channel.
WPLJ FM and HD1, New York, a Cumulus station.
It's 95.5 PLJ Reunion Day. Bringing back all your favorite DJs from the past 48 years.
95.5 WPLJ New York.
It's time to wake up.
It's 95.5 PLJ Reunion Day.
Wake up, New York! Get your feet on the floor. No time for breakfast. Get your butt out the door with Shannon in the morning. I say Shannon in the morning. On PLJ.
When you wake up, get your butt out of the bed, wash your face and brush your teeth to start the day. When you wake up, you turn on the radio, Scott and Todd on 95.5 PLJ. You've been phone scammed. You've been phone scammed by Scott and Todd.
95.5
PLJ.
Please welcome back from the big show, Scott Shannon, Patty Steele, Brad Blanks, Joe Nolan, and Bill Evans.
Oh my God, how did this happen? I feel like the prodigal son coming back home for a little while.
Just for a little while, buddy.
Holy cow. You know, I got the willies when I heard that Cumulus ID. Crap.
You did.
Oh, my God. I know it's a nice company now, but I got the willies on that one.
Yeah,
well, my name is Scott Shannon. I used to be here, and now I'm not anymore, but now I am now. Whatever that means. And I work at another station now across town.
CBS FM.
101.1, but they were nice enough to invite me back today. And I brought my friends, Patty Steele and Brad Blanks, who I'm comfortable with, and even...
Very comfortable.
Are you not comfortable with me?
Is that
what you're saying there, buddy?
I meant both of you.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
We're very comforting, Patty.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't leave Joe out.
No.
We got Joe.
Hey, Scott.
There it is.
Oh, I love that.
There it is. Hey, Scott.
What up, man? What's going on?
And, you know, the thing about it is there's so much history to this radio station, and I've always been a student of radio history since I was a kid. I used to go down to this little record store and buy Billboard magazine, and they had this guy named Claude Hall, and he would talk about all the DJs around the country with the fancy names and all the jobs, and there was a big rivalry going on between one in New York, Don Imus, and one in California named Robert W. Morgan. I said, boy, that sounds like a pretty good way to make a living. They write about you, people talk about you, and
all the girls want you.
Some of the girls want you.
Yeah, that's probably first on the list.
But the history of this radio station is incredible. Yeah. I mean, you look back 48, 49 years of wonderful music, great DJs, incredible personalities, and all of a sudden, bye-bye. It's a little bit of a shock. And I can't tell you how many times in the past month, different friends of mine from different jobs and different walks of life and different places, they want to know what I thought about it. I said, well, you know, it's sad. And it's one of those things where you have so many different emotions and feelings. It's it's hard to enunciate, you know, or actually describe the feelings that you have going through you.
The problem is, I think, and this is what you and I had talked about, is there's the business side of what we do, and there's the artistic side of what we do. And this is part of business, but it is heartbreaking from an artistic standpoint because the history of this radio station over the years spans, I mean, even before the 48 years ago, it was WABC FM. So it had a few years as that as well. And it's just, for most of us that grew up around here, it's our whole lives.
Well, you have several different incarnations, and it started out when people really noticed it was when they changed the call letters. And to the credit of a guy named Alan Shaw, who I saw for the other night for the first time in my life, I met him, and he came up with the call letters, WPLJ, at least I think he did. Maybe he got the idea somewhere else, but he was in charge, so he gets the credit. And it was the name of a song, an old doo-wop song called White Port Lemon Juice. And I'm sure most of you who are listening, or you were listening back in the early days, you knew that. And they started out with people like Alex Bennett and John Zachary, the Ghoul, and Jimmy Fink, and some of the other great stars, Pat St. John, of course, Tony Pigg, and Mark Coppola, who I just met for the first time. And that was just one chunk of radio history. Just that was a great radio station. Joe, you grew up listening to that station.
Sure did. I remember the other Dan Ingram program on WABC FM before they made the change. I remember them making the change.
Yeah, those guys all went over and did little shows over there.
Yep, when they were done in the morning.
When FM was just a plaything.
Right, they were done on AM. They came over to the FM and did stuff on the FM. It was kind of this new thing. What is this FM radio? This is so cool. Listen, there's no static. You know, and
you had people, you had stars that evolved into like Carol Miller, and then when Jim Kerr came on, and that was an incredible time for radio in New York. There was that battle going on between NEW, FM, and PLJ, and then when I got dropped into the scene back in '83. Started Z100.
You broomed out all of the rock people.
And
you kind of went through it like a bulldozer.
Well, that was a strange time. Look, I just had a job to do. I didn't really have any. I had no animosity towards Larry Berger or anybody that worked there. I just had a job to do, and it's funny because I'm probably the only person ever, worked against him and then worked here and then didn't work here.
Right. Great point.
And bashed him across the street.
Yes, and then I went across the street and bashed him up again some more. So it's a weird feeling, but our relationship with PLJ came when I got the call from Mitch Nolan and Tom Cuddy to come in, and that was 1991. I said, what, you need me to come over to PLJ? That doesn't look very good.
April, I remember it.
Yeah, and then we started a whole new side of the radio station.
I remember because I was at Z100 at the time, and when we found out you were going there, everybody was pulling their hair out. The place was like, oh, what's he doing?
I was here, and I was terrified.
As well you should have been. Yeah.
Don't bring him in here.
If only you knew.
But and anyway, and Joe was a major part of our morning show. And I look back because when we first started the show, that we were looking for some people to put a cast together, and we had the divine Sandy Klein, who was a news person.
At 1010 Wins.
A lovely lady.
Yep.
And she didn't appreciate that we talked about her husband, who was a judge.
Well, I don't blame her. I think I might be on her side on this.
I can't remember some of the things we said about him, but
I do.
Yeah.
She wasn't. And then I think Kim Ashley did that for a while. And then finally, Tom came up with a friend of his from the great state of Rhode Island, and that's where she came in. Naomi D. Clemente.
Don't say anything bad. You're on the air.
And I was as frightened as Joe was of you when I got the call.
You were a bit of a whack job back then. You were a swinging single. You were out.
And she's not now?
You were out every night. You come in here and that garlic would be coming through your skin.
Oh, okay.
Remember that? All right.
Be nice.
I'll tell you. I could have had, two evil brothers. That's what you were to me, you guys in the morning. You tortured me. And I was, I guess, the little sister there. But somehow I survived 8 years. I'm not sure how. But we had a fun ride, didn't we?
Well, there are people right now going, well, you skipped someone. No, we're not skipping Todd Pettengill. He was a major part of the show, and we were like brothers for a long, long time. And
yes,
as many couples do over the years, things don't work out, and they, as you probably realize, they
you
didn't
grow up
work
and
out.
move on.
Yeah. So But I'll tell you what, I never worked with anyone funnier than him in my entire career, and I've had a pretty long career. And we accomplished quite a bit together. But when Naomi came in here, I'd never seen anybody like her before.
I just realized that you documented my whole life, basically my dating years, my engagement, my wedding, and my pregnancy. My whole life was on the radio.
Yeah.
From 1991 to 1999.
We put it right on the radio, too. We had covered all the gory moments when you and Bob broke up.
What?
Have you
When
ever,
did that happen? Are you back together?
When you, in one of those situations, they were dating and they broke up. See, this is a life lesson.
Right.
If you have a friend that's in a relationship and they break up and they come in, they say, he's a creep.
Yeah,
He's
we
not
thought
for
he
me."
was a jerk, too.
So
That's what you did,
the
isn't
same
it?
thing we
Yeah,
did. And all of a sudden, the next thing we know, here he is back in the saddle again.
That happens with your kids, too.
You called him Cell Phone Bob forever, and
Yeah.
the poor guy never sold a cell phone.
He sold cell
in his
phones
life.
out of his
He
trunk.
did not sell cell phones.
Right down here on 33rd Street.
Yep, I saw the little shop that he had down there. Anyway.
This is all starting to feel like 1991 all over again.
So one of the things we did, we always played this song because she loved it. And I know they played it for you earlier this morning, but I was looking forward to coming in this morning and playing it. Is it all set to go? No, it's not.
No, but we'll play it at some point.
We had it a minute ago.
Yeah.
But we can't find it now. We'll play it for you later. Naomi, thank you so much for taking a moment out of your busy life to check in.
It's a pleasure to have worked with you and Joe and Patty, and just to I wish you the best at CBS FM, and I'm just grateful for every year I had with all of you.
Oh, no.
The theme
Here it
song
is.
for Naomi D. Clemente on PLJ.
CBS FM.
I didn't say it.
I did.
Never gonna get my love. Big stuff. You're never gonna break my heart.
It's 95.5 PLJ Reunion Day.
Never gonna make me cry.
Mike, you destroyed that song. I want everybody to know I'm not running the board.
That's a
Oh, that's why it sounds good.
Unless it goes smooth. Then I'm running a board.
That wasn't even a Scott Clement.
No, I know.
They'll come though. They're going to come in the next few minutes. Scott
You
Clements,
are
yeah.
listening to Reunion Day on 95.5 PLJ. I'm Scott Shannon. I used to work here, and I don't anymore, but I'm happy to be here today, along with Patty Steele.
Who used to work here and don't anymore.
And you don't anymore. And, of course, Mr. Brad Blanks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Had a good run. Had a good run here.
And Mr. Nolan.
And Joe's hanging around here. I like that. And now, after Naomi, we needed someone to fill some big shoes. So we found a very competent, excellent personality who I was familiar with. I actually...
But I have
know
little
her.
feet. I'm like a size 6.
Patty Steele jumped into that slot.
Yeah,
Let's see. We worked on this morning. Naomi was here like 9 years. Patty was here 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw her through quite a bit. She had a couple of babies.
I had 3 babies I actually had them before I got here. I had a 3-month-old when I started here, a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Oh, God, the stories I heard.
Oh,
So how was it? You'd finish your shift and you'd drive straight home.
I
and
would
then,
pump breast milk in a room in the back.
Wow. I work with a breast pumper.
How'd Scott handle that? How was he?
He knew nothing about it.
No problem.
He wanted
No.
no part of it.
There was no problem there. And the funny thing about it is we were fortunate enough to be in a city where every star in the music business would stop by. PLJ was a must stop for almost everybody. And we got to meet and get to know. Don't get me wrong, we weren't friends. They only came here so we played our
they
records.
love you.
But they were, we were nice to
The
them.
Bacon Brothers were friends with you.
Yeah, Bacon Brothers. Okay, thank you, Brad. That's a good point.
You had to pick that?
Yeah.
Michael Bacon.
Yeah,
They're
Michael
really
Bacon
sweet.
loves you more than Kevin.
But
They're great
we
guys,
were
though.
lucky enough to be around when so many stars were breaking, and the memories that we collected here in this building were amazing because new people like John
Mayor.
Mayer.
Mm-hmm. Jason Mraz.
He came by here when he had just he was popular in Atlanta, and one of the guys in the record company said, "This guy's pretty hot. You want to put him on the show?" we don't play his music yet. Yeah, but you're probably gonna. So he came by, and that started a long relationship with him. Mm-hmm. We had him over at Blythedale a couple of times, and he was just wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Wait, Katy Perry here?
Katy, but what about Taylor Swift? The young Taylor Swift,
baby Taylor Swift
came in from
She's
Nashville.
Like 15.
she had one song out. It was a big country hit called "Teardrops on My Guitar," and she came by and she sang it that day, just her and a guitar.
Yeah,
and that started a friendship with her, and she still comes by over at the other station now, at CBS FM. And talks to us. She doesn't live far from there, so it's easy. It's easy for her. It's the closest station, probably, other than Z100.
What about Hanson? Hanson was pretty good for you in the late 90s, wasn't it?
Well, some people might say they blame us for that, but it was I liked that song "Bop," and we brought it on a cassette and we started playing it. And the next thing we knew, we were in the middle of the Meadowlands, outdoors at the Meadowlands Fair. Remember that one?
No.
And we had about 3,000 kids out there. And it was in the morning, too. We did the morning show. They went on at 9 o'clock. Hanson was there. And there was a lot of stars like that. You know, the morning, you remember the morning Rod Stewart and Ronnie Wood came by, completely wasted.
Yeah, but Rod Stewart was gorgeous. He really looked. I was really shocked.
He was so drunk.
It doesn't matter. Well, maybe I like him that way.
He'd been up all night, a gorgeous drunk.
Yeah.
That's how Patty likes him.
I do. Dave Matthews came in. He was so, oh my God, I love it. I could have kept him forever. Woo, he was rough, but I loved it.
That too. Let's check and see. Hello, CBS. I'm sorry. PLJ.
I'm very upset about that snide comment about the Bacon Brothers from the Australian.
Sorry.
You know, I was at that Meadowlands concert, and I was shocked and horrified at the crowd. There was huge.
Horrified.
We did the weather from there live.
Bill Evans, ladies and gentlemen.
Bill Evans.
The artist formerly known as the Weatherman.
I thought it was Kevin Bacon.
Now media mogul.
Brad thought it was Kevin Bacon.
Oh boy,
yeah, that was a great concert with Hanson. You guys scared me because you were doing all those little dances with Naomi. It was a Friday plus the format day. That was a great show. That was awesome. Yeah.
Now, rumor has it you have your own radio show now.
Radio station.
Well, I have a radio show, a radio station. You know, when you get fired, you don't get mad. You just go buy a radio station.
He's firmly ensconced out in the Hamptons.
Sag Harbor, beautiful.
And aren't you doing the night show this week because your young night disc jockey hit his head on the wall? He's 80.
He's 80. That guy's 80.
Am I undercutting him? Is he older than 80?
Yeah, he's pushing 80. He's been at the radio station since 1970.
Oh, wow.
And unfortunately, he fell in the control room and he hit the back of his head.
Ow. Oh.
And he has to have a plate put in the back of his head. I mean, it's just, he's a sweetheart guy.
Your buddy over here, Nolan's.
But he'll be ready to rock when he's back.
You know what? Knowing how bad you like to be on the air, I'm sure you tripped him in that control room.
Jeez, Scott.
I'm pretty sure you had something to do with that.
You're a charmer.
As you know, Scott, we all became DJs, you know, so we could talk on the radio. And if we can't be on the radio, we have to do what we have to do.
Yeah, that's right.
You're the greatest.
I'm doing nights, running the board, you know.
Till somebody trips you and you bang your head and get a metal plate.
Right.
That's exactly right. Well, I guess he'll be able to get the station in his head now, so he's going to recover and be fine.
He'll pick it up.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
Bill Evans, ladies and gentlemen, on 95.5 PLJ.
It's 95.5 PLJ Reunion Day.
Oh, yeah. One solid hour of memories and moments and days gone by here at 95.5 PLJ. Nolan's here, Patty Steele with us, Brad Blanks. And, of course, the two guys who gave me my break at PLJ, Mitch Nolan and Tom Cuddy today. Mitch has got his bow tie on, as usual. It's his uniform. And
Looks
we're
fabulous.
Happy to see him. He looks very good today.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about all the stars. I forgot we did Ed Sheeran's first interview in America.
Right, I remember that.
And then the other night, somebody told me that is very close to Bruce that we did the last radio interview that Bruce has ever done.
What year was that? That was down in Asbury Park.
At Asbury Park. 2002. That's the last time he's done an interview for any radio
You
station.
really put him off.
I guess we pissed him off.
That's it.
I'm
No
not
more
doing,
DJs.
I'm not doing that anymore.
17 years.
That was a heck of a deal. Tom Cuddy brokered.
Yeah.
You know, I remember you getting shuttled out the back there to do that
It
exclusive
was
interview.
like backstage. Was it the Paramount? Is that the name? Convention Center.
Yeah, that
That's
was
right.
it.
That's right.
Hello, Jerry Limbo, a friend of the big shows. How are you, Jerry?
I'm doing terrific. What a great! Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm hearing right now.
You were a big part of our days here at PLJ. What's your memory? Your fondest memory, or one of them?
Well, besides being DJ for a day, the Blake Day package.
Right.
No, actually, my most memorable moment, and it wasn't the biggest of stars, but it was an artist called Bob Carlyle who had a song called Butterfly Kisses.
Oh,
And
Butterfly Kisses.
I will never forget the day that we had 10 fathers and 10 daughters in the studio with us.
Mm.
And he played Butterfly Kisses live on the air. And it was you and Todd, and I believe Naomi was still...
I think
still
it
there.
was, yeah, because I think it was
Naomi.
before me.
And he played the song live on the air. There wasn't a dry eye in the house.
Scott can cry thinking about that song.
You know,
Forget
it's funny.
just hearing it.
I remember the first time we played it.
Yes.
I really had trouble because Todd and I both, had daughters, and we still do. And I remember I couldn't talk when it was over, so I nodded at him, and I looked over, and he couldn't talk either. So neither one of us could talk.
I remember we sent the song up by messenger, and I recall that exact circumstance, Scott, because I sent it up there, and I remember listening, and you played the record, and then there was like a moment of dead air.
That was why. We couldn't talk.
Crying.
Couldn't talk.
Nobody could talk. Thank you, Jerry, for checking in. You're a good man. We appreciate it so much. Hello?
Scott,
Hey, who's this?
my name is Mark. I'm from Westchester County.
Hello, Mark.
I was a 10-year-old kid back in 1994, and you play. I wanted to be a radio DJ more than anything in the world, and I made a cassette tape pretending to be on the Scott and Todd show as a host,
Right.
And I'm singing along, I'm singing the jingles before I would play a song on my other cassette tape, 95.5, I'm singing it, and I mailed it to you guys, this whole letter, and one morning you talked about me, and you said, this young kid sits in Westchester, and you played it. Do you remember that, or do you not?
I think I do remember it. I don't remember whether you became a DJ or not.
No, I did not. I became a mobile DJ when I was a teenager at weddings, all this stuff. But
Good.
It's all right.
It was the biggest moment as a kid, as a 15-year-old. I'll never forget.
Chicks like the mobile DJs, too.
Yeah. You got a microphone, they like it.
But it was awesome. I was like the only 10-year-old who loved Scott and Todd in the morning. It was really creepy, but it was a big moment. All my dad's friends at work, I remember, heard it when they were driving in. They said, your son was on the radio today.
Oh, what do you do now?
Right now, I own my own business, actually. I'm in the construction industry, but
cool.
I DJ'd for many, many years and just never became a radio DJ. And
You decided to get rich instead, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Mark, thanks for checking in this morning. I got
That's
Lori. Hello, Lori.
Hi, thank you guys. I love you. You got me through nursing school. Now I'm retired. My daughter works over there in Cumulus.
Oh.
Oh, my God. Well, hold on a minute. I'm
Don't say that
shaking
name.
again.
Don't say the C word on the air.
Oh, I know. Okay.
Wow.
Say the C word. Okay.
Sorry.
But you really, lifetime of fun with PLJ.
Thank you so much for checking in this morning. I remember we used to always celebrate everything, and Tom and I had decided it's so much fun to celebrate different events, and I think it was Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, no.
And our Joe can help me with this one. Our incredible promotion director, who was responsible for many, many great events here, Teresa Angela, somehow booked us into a place called the Fiesta Hut on Route 4. Yeah. Remember when we pulled up in the car?
The look on your face.
Where are we?
When we pulled up to this place, the Fiesta Hut restaurant wasn't any bigger than this room.
What year was this?
Oh, boy.
No, we don't know.
Right at the beginning, 90s, right at the very beginning.
Yeah,
and it was no bigger than this room. It had a counter in the middle.
Had cement floor and cinder block walls.
And the only thing in it that wasn't cinder block was the Corona light.
Well, that way they could hose the place down.
It was piled up everywhere. And my goodness, what a disaster from beginning to end. That was the worst show I think you guys ever did. It was just horrible. Just from the beginning, he was
put off
by it. The whole place. He didn't want to be there. Do it. He didn't want to be there.
Well, Joe, you know that the most important thing when you do any kind of personal appearance with Scott is to make him think this is the greatest thing on earth.
We tried, but there was no hiding it.
I actually can tell the difference between the greatest thing on earth and the worst remote ever done in broadcasting.
Come on, baby, showbiz.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What were those, Scott? What were those Melrose Place parties? What were they all about? Remember those?
No, I don't recall.
Melrose Place?
Wait,
No, I don't recall.
They
the
don't
Melrose
recall
Place
because it was a different time.
And as I said before, we were lucky to have a great cast, and this was certainly a major part of that cast. Checking in this morning, one half of the Scott and Todd show. Since I'm Scott, that must be him.
It's unbelievable. You guys can't remember anything.
What do you remember?
Anything. Fiesta Hut, there were 6 people there. That was the problem with Fiesta Hut. It looked like there'd been a murder in the place. There was a chalk outline. You don't remember anything. Then we went to the house party, and Joe Nolan farted the hell me out right out of the tent.
Now wait a minute.
You woke yourself up.
Well, that I did. Yeah, that's true.
Remember, I slept in the house. I wimped out.
Yeah, no kidding.
Remember the little girl's bed he slept in that night?
The poor little girl.
Threw her out of her own
Couldn't
room.
have been more than 6. Had to sleep outside by the Joe Nolan fart tent. Because Scott had to be inside, and I don't want to be by the mosquitoes. I don't want to be by drunk Joe. I see you. And they'd be like that. No, I'm coming back out. And he'd be like this. He's not coming back out.
No. We were waiting for him.
Coming back out.
No doubt about it.
He's not coming back out.
He's not coming back out.
I remember that one.
What about the first few gigs we found for Brad, too? Some of the stuff that you would come up with. Remember when he walked in the high heels?
Yeah. Oh, you can't forget things like that. They're indelibly, burned.
Tattooed.
Todd, you stitched me up. You put me in 10-inch heels and had me run through New Jersey.
You're still over-modulating. Like I told you, but you back up a little bit. Because you're screaming into the microphone. Back it up a little bit.
Remember the tricycle, Todd?
Oh, jeez.
Well, he actually was Miley Cyrus that day. He dressed like he had that little skirt on, the 10-inch heels. Didn't you almost get arrested?
Yeah, well, the big one was the Elmo, where Todd followed me in some beautiful, like a Camaro or something, Todd. and you followed me 21 miles through New Jersey, and we shut down traffic everywhere we went. And you commentated the whole ride. And it was
Did we do a gasoline tube thing on
Oh, yeah.
3?
You screwed up, and you almost got arrested there, too.
And we got in trouble.
That was big. And remember what was it, the wedding that we did with 2 strangers?
2 strangers and a wedding. Yep.
That lasted about 2 weeks, and she said, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Did they get divorced?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
2 weeks later.
I don't remember.
It didn't work out. We're going to play one of our favorite phone scams. I don't know if you have any particular favorites, but I went back. I got it off the first album. Remember the Book Crook?
Oh, sure.
Huh?
This is a guy who had a library book out for years, and his friends called up, or it might have been his girlfriend at the time, and said, look, he brags about the fact that he always has his book. They never caught him. He never had to bring it back. It was just it was sort of a thing of pride for this guy who just never let it go.
He was a proud crook.
How we got the Book Crook.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Blaifney.
Yes?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, fine. Who's calling?
My name is Bruce Blake,
Bruce Blake, uh-huh.
Director of the Library Services.
Which library we talking about? The New York Public Library?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Now, as you may be aware, September, I don't know if you know, it was National Book Amnesty Month.
September is National Book Amnesty Month?
Well, it was.
Uh-huh.
Where we gave patrons an opportunity to return all overdue materials without threat of exorbitant fines.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And our records indicate that you have in your possession one of our books.
I do?
And have had it for 6 years.
For 6? I don't remember.
We show you check the book out at the East Broadway Library on the Lower East Side.
Yeah, I mean, I live down here, so I mean, I might have taken. I mean, I don't know. 6 years ago.
We have sent subsequent reminders that were ignored.
What is the fine for something like this? What are we talking about?
$2,143.53.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah. At 5 this afternoon, another 10 cents will accrue to that total, and then it will double hereafter.
You're saying I have a book that's been out for 6 years from the library?
You do owe the City of New York $2,143.53.
Wait a second. $2,143.53.
What we will be forced to do is attach a Tardicus Sphinxter lien, as approved by the City Council back on December 10th of 1973.
Sir, I am telling you that I had no knowledge of this. I'm not... Why?
You signed the library card!
Sir, I had no knowledge of this. Is there... I mean, I could try to find this book. Is there, like, another, like, kind of... I didn't even know there was an amnesty thing.
$2,143.53 is what you owe this city.
I didn't realize. Sir,
you are the biggest violator in the whole city of New York.
Sir, I had no idea of, I mean...
$2,143.53 is what you owe us today.
What happens now?
What happens now?
I produce this book.
14 months in jail.
I don't. You see, you might misunderstand me. I'm not. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being difficult. I just don't understand.
I understand. And if you're unable to pay, I'll have to issue a warrant for your arrest. That's all I'm saying to you.
No, I understand. So this is what is the name? You're representing who?
The New York Library Services.
The New York Library Services.
And I have to throw you in jail if you don't pay the money.
When do I have...
Till 5 o'clock today.
I have till 5 o'clock today to pay $2,143?
That's right.
And what if I don't pay today?
Jail! Jail! Jail!
Is there somebody I can go to? Is there somebody I can talk to?
Rikers Island.
Rikers Island?
You're going to Rikers Island.
Is there anybody, like, is there an office I could go to speak to somebody to work out a payment plan?
You have the pen?
Yeah.
Stephanie?
Yeah.
Greenberg.
Oh, my God.
This is Mojo Radio.
Oh, my God, my mouth is through my throat. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Jay, you have been Mojo phone scammed.
Oh, my God, have I been mojoed.
And there's the story. That was probably one of the most requested phone scams you ever did.
Mojo phone scam. Where's the winking, blinking good guy weather towel?
Do you know, I was playing golf yesterday, and I was talking to this guy, telling him
that's unusual.
What we were going to do. And he said, "Is Todd going to be on?" I said, "Well, I hope so." And he goes, "I remember the funniest thing I ever heard him say." And you know what he said to me?
No, I have no idea.
"I wonder if Pat Battle has a Brazilian."
It's not my proudest moment.
Come on, Todd, that was awesome.
Well, don't you? Didn't you wonder it when you were watching it'd be like any guy would think,
No one,
I wonder what's
okay?
going on down there. Right? I mean, is it a powder puff or is it a landing strip?
I swear to God, that was yesterday on the 11th hole, he said that. I forgot all about it. I thought it was great.
All right.
Anyway.
All right, nothing like a good Brazilian chat.
That kind of slowed things down, didn't it?
Says the Aussie.
Todd, you said a million funny things. It was wonderful, mate. Wonderful.
That was the one that stuck in this dentist's head.
Oh, that's funny. The things you remember. You know, I don't know if you guys covered it yet, but I did not steal a man's pants.
Oh, yeah.
You know, with Joe, I mean, I still, to this day, when people, you know, reach out, I remember when Joe Nolan went to play golf and he stole that guy's pants. And I said, no, Joe said he didn't steal the pants.
And he did.
No, I didn't.
I mean, you were very defiant. I mean, I did not steal a man's pants.
Oh, I didn't.
You put his pants on.
I had his pants on, yeah.
But you took them out of the locker.
No, the guy from the club gave them to me out of the locker, and I wore them.
You stole them.
But that means you took them.
But I didn't steal them.
Did you bring them home?
Yes.
I might have.
Then you stole them. Did you buy the pants?
I guess it depends on how you look at it.
Did you buy the pants?
No.
No, you didn't buy the pants. You stole the pants.
You stole the
man's
pants.
Well, they were given to me, but I just didn't give them back.
You know, we spent a lot of time in Florida, and I remember being at Disney World. You remember the two little girls we met that later grew into stars? Big stars?
Yes.
You remember, Todd?
You're not talking about the Olsen twins.
I'm not talking about the Olsen twins.
Oh, no, that's good. You got a whole plan
That's
here.
another
I'm just
whole
flying
story.
like
We
Norma
did-
by the seat of my
we
pants. That
did-
was the worst interview we ever did.
We didn't.
No. Dr. Joyce Brothers was the worst interview you
No,
ever
she
did.
was one of my favorites.
Remember Britney Spears came by? She was like
Yeah,
14
I
or
have no recollection of that.
15 years old. Yeah.
Oh, down at Disney in the studio.
Yeah. And then Christina Aguilera came in the next day.
Yep.
Two young ladies.
Is that when Kato got fired?
Ooh, that's a bad one.
No, that I think was the next trip.
That was a bad one. We had a great producer,
What happened there, Todd?
creative guy, nice fella,
Good guy.
knew everything, but he just stayed stoned all the time.
Yeah, well, it's a problem. You know, he had a problem.
He had trouble waking up.
Yeah.
And
Wasn't really a morning person, which is difficult when you're a morning show producer. But he really not a morning guy. And he told us that. He goes, I can't. Mornings are hard for me. Well, you probably shouldn't have taken the job.
But that's when we're on the air, Cato. And then, so that morning, we go over there and found out he had a towel rolled up and put across the bottom of his door.
He wrecked his room, too, remember?
Yeah.
He completely trashed his room.
And
He had a migraine. Did he have a migraine?
Something,
No,
yeah.
He had a bad joint.
You sent me over to go get him. And then I came back into that big room we were in, and I looked over at you, and they said, "Where's Cato?" And I just kind of looked over and said, I don't know.
That's when the bloom was off the rose a little bit with us in Disney, and they put us about 3 miles from the park.
Yep.
We were up in some hotel room looking down. Like, what are we doing up here?
Yep. And then I remember the two of you walked over into the corner and started chatting.
We were chatting.
And I looked at Naomi and I said, "This isn't good." And sure enough.
Not good for Cato.
Not good for Cato.
Well,
Now
it's better.
let's-
He wasn't a morning person.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost better.
Let's fast forward to the $1 million bank run. You remember that one, Tom? The $1 million bank run. We give you, 5 minutes on a bank vault and all the money you could carry out.
That's right. Chase Manhattan Bank is when we did it. And the first year that we had, someone got almost $100,000 in the time that we gave them to do their thing.
Yeah, but we had a problem one year, didn't we, Tom?
Was that Victor?
Was it? Yeah, Victor
Wasn't
and
his name
Nostalgia. Victor.
Starchick or something?
That
Yeah.
sounds familiar.
He's
He
running.
lived in his mother's basement in Clark.
That's him.
Yep.
That's him.
He's running back and forth. He's hauling all the money out. And what happened, Todd?
We got a man down.
He goes down on the floor. He passes out right when we had Channel 7 cameras there, big crowd of people watching, and I thought we killed a man.
Yep. This guy says, we got a man down. The clock was still running.
What
right?
else
He
am I
still
gonna
had time
say?
on the clock. Well, you're like the master of the obvious. You know, the damn clock is still running. Everybody sees the guy's laying on the ground. We got a man down. Yes, we do. We definitely do.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much. That was a shame. But he got back up.
Did we do that twice? Did we do it twice?
I think 3 times.
Yeah, we did 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah. But and it was a good contest, except when the man went down.
Yeah, except when you murder somebody.
That's bad.
You don't want that.
Hello, Jen. Are you there?
Hey, that was one of my favorite shows.
The Man Down, you mean?
Yes, The Man Down. One of them. And that was the end of the contest. He ruined it for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your memory?
That and my favorite Brad Blank's memory, of course, is Julia Roberts. When he stalked her for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Todd, I didn't want to be. Todd, Scott, you both made me stand there at the Broadway Theatre for 3 weeks until I got an interview with her. It was hell.
We said, don't come back until you talk to. What show was that?
Yeah.
5 Days of Rain. No one remembers it anyway.
And every night she would walk out, and Brad would yell certain lines
from her movies.
Julia
Mr. Boy
Roberts'
standing in
movies.
front of a girl, asking her to love him, and all that sort of stuff. And the big one was her bodyguard took me down a back alley and was going to beat me up. And the next day, I came in and I told Scott and Todd on the radio what he did to me. And Todd, you went crazy because you called him a whacking hut for a good 15 minutes.
Oh, that's the whacking hut.
Yeah, the
guy.
whacking hut guy.
So I went down there that night, and the NYPD Blue had started calling him Mr. Whacking Hut to his face. And he was not happy.
You know what happened to? One night he yelled at Julia Roberts when she came out, and she got in the car, and she told her bodyguard, "Who's that effing guy that yelled at me?
Yeah.
He might be a crazy person."
Anyway.
Didn't they call the cops on you too,
Yeah,
Brad?
yeah,
Didn't they?
a
few times.
A few
Like,
times, but
you
they were on our
physically
side at the
removed.
end. The cops were on our side by the end of it.
Right.
They were done with it all.
Except for whacking hut.
Whacking Hut wanted to kill me.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a great moment when I look. I've got to thank you guys when I walked in here off the street, a boy from the bush, and you guys put me on the radio. I walked into Bruce Goldberg's office, and he said, "Come down here and go on the radio." I didn't know who I was getting on with. These legends of radio, Scott, Todd, and Patty, and I get in there, and you started some sort of weird and wonderful journey. Now I'm married, which is a shock.
I see. What do you got? 8 kids?
Yeah, 8 kids. Yeah.
You got like 8, don't you?
Yeah.
How many kids you got?
I got 3 kids.
Yeah,
yes.
you're old. Is this your son? Who's the old? I saw a picture of him the other day. It's your freaking head on this kid's body. He's already got the receding hairline and everything. Looks just like you.
Yeah, it's
unbelievable. Monk showed me a picture. He goes, "Who's this?" I said, "That's Brad Blanks."
Yes.
He goes, "Well, close. It's his kid."
Yeah.
I said, "Oh my God,
That's his
beautiful,
kid.
beautiful family, Brad."
Thanks, mate.
Well, we are gathered here today to celebrate the past of PLJ. And tomorrow? You
Celebrate's a little delicate word for me because I'm getting the boot. You know what I mean? So celebrate.
Well, we're
How about
celebrating.
look back.
A look back. We're celebrating the past.
Yeah.
Not the
'Cause
future.
I'll be delivering pizzas Monday. You know what I mean? I got that. I washed my car and I got that sign.
Yeah.
You put the sign on the top and you plug it into your cigarette lighter. It lights up. So I got that going on Monday. So if you need a pie, you're in North Jersey.
Yeah.
I might be right at your house.
You're all set, huh?
Yep. I'll be playing a phone scams in the car. Remember this? Remember this? Like this. No, what's that? Never mind. Here's your pizza.
Here comes Todd from Tony's on Bloomfield Avenue.
There he is, right? I got 3 pies. I can't chat. They get cold. I don't give a tip.
Didn't you used to be Todd Pettingill?
You used to be. Now what are you?
Not
I'm working
anymore.
for Tony.
All right, Todd. Thanks for checking in, my friend. Great job.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you, Ed. Thank you so much. It is 95.5 PLJ with Third Eye Blind.
It's 95.5 PLJ Reunion Day.
Wow. Some memories from days gone by as we say goodbye to a radio station that's iconic here in New York City. And Stephanie says she has a memory, something that happened to her. What happened to you, Stephanie?
Hey, guys.
Hi.
So this FedEx guy walks into my office, and I was a receptionist, and he says, "Hey, I won tickets to this dance that PLJ is having, the True Romance Dance.
Oh,
You
yeah.
want to go?"
You didn't know him?
I knew him just from picking up packages from the office I was working in. He seemed nice enough. And I was like, well, you know what? That seems like a cool thing to do. And So 8 years later, we get engaged, and here we are.
8 years. He waited a while.
No, it was me.
Oh, that a girl.
Who was the entertainment that night at that True Romance dance?
It was the Stylistics.
Oh, boy.
What year was that?
It was 24 years ago.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Congratulations. I'm glad we had some small part in your relationship.
We wound up on the Star Trek reunion cruise with you guys, too.
Oh, I forgot about those reunion
Wow,
cruises.
your whole life has been tied up with him.
You know what? And PLJ is such a part of our life. It was good times.
You know, we're thinking about that the other day. I went back and tried to recapture some of the memories that I had. We had all those reunion cruises. We had Animal House. Mm-hmm. We had KRP in Cincinnati. Remember that one, Joe?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
The Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
And the Gilligan's
Island. Yeah.
We had some bands out there, too. Remember we had Huey Lewis and the News Cruise? Yeah.
And the News Cruise?
They were
you know what else, too?
Crazy.
Remember we had Rick Springfield on.
Oh, that was even worse.
Well, what about the
insane.
up-close and personal shows at the China Club?
Incredible. Tom used to put those incredible shows together.
Hootie and the Blowfish, Def Leppard, Duran Duran, Sheryl Crow, Coldplay, the Blues Brothers. That was Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi. Even Tom couldn't get John. And that was difficult.
Yeah.
And then, of course, our favorite time of the year, the Christmas party for the kids at Blightdale.
Right. Which we still do.
Thank you, Rob Thomas. Yeah, we still do it. In case you didn't know, Patty and I and Brad still work on the radio over at WCBS FM 101.1, in case you happen to be looking for a morning show anytime soon.
Well, you should be.
I don't know.
Well, I think you should be.
I don't know what's going on around here, but in case you need one, there we are.
Yeah.
You know, I look back at some of the people that we worked with here, and this was the longest job that I ever had in radio. I mean, I moved around. I love to change jobs. I loved that. I love to go to different towns, start new radio stations and all that. I worked in Memphis, Mobile, Nashville, Tampa, Florida, D.C., Los Angeles. But this was a radio station where you felt like you had a family. And we had so many friends here. And Patty, you still have many friends like I do.
Yeah. A lot of people here that I love very much.
You look back and, you got Race Taylor and Fast Jimmy, and there was Rocky and Blaine and Joey Kramer, who's still here. That's the only way we can get rid of him is close it down.
What about Harry Capsalis?
Harry Capsalis walked in,
a legend.
With Rocky and Blaine.
Yeah. Well, the beauty of our business is that life moves on, and there are so many wonderful stations still around, and the people that are worth their salt will reemerge at a new place, and we'll see them there.
You're gonna, like I said the other night, there's a lot of really good people at this radio station, people who do what they do very, very well.
That will take our jobs.
Yeah, you never know. I want to say hi to Christine McIntyre and Christine Ritchie and other, I'm probably forgetting some people we worked with, and all the people behind the scenes.
Jamie Lee's here today.
Yeah, Jamie Lee's here.
Some of the people we worked with have been here for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Joe, you have friends here too, right?
Yeah, Terry and Race. Race is a great.
Bill Ayers was here for how many years?
Joe Partavilla, who was the Monkey Boy.
Yeah, Monk.
So it's sad that they are. A lot of these people are going to, most of them are going to be out of work. But like we said,
well, momentarily.
Yeah,
life moves on.
It's not the end of the world.
Scott, you and I were both out of work when we left here.
Yeah, when I left here,
very
I was out of work.
quickly you get back in.
I never dreamed I'd be back here sitting in this seat. This is the very same seat and the very same microphone that I used for 23 years.
And you know what's weird? The very same DJ is on the other side of the glass over there, Dave Stewart.
Dave Stewart's ready to go on.
Race Taylor's.
How many times did you look up as soon as you sat in here in the morning and there Dave Stewart in the other studio?
Yeah, and there's my friend Louis Diaz, who now he's still with Cumulus.
What a pleasure it is to be here, guys. With everything.
Thank you, Louis.
Great to see
you.
He grew up. Louis grew up at this radio
little baby,
station.
I know.
Yep.
How old were you when you came here?
Well, legally 18.
Maybe a little younger?
Yeah, maybe a little about 14.
But it's sad in a way. But like I said the other night, it's also a happy time because of what we had and what we lived through. And as I go back, I think the most important day in my radio life was on 9/11. When I sat right here and Todd was right there. And we watched the whole thing unfold. We worked all day. And to this day, people still come up and talk about listening to us on that day because of the way we covered it. And we talked to people all day long. And then all day the next day. I think we worked 6A to 9P the first day. And we came in at 5 the next morning. And it was obviously a terrible day in this city and this country. But it will always stick in my mind because of the people we talked to that day and the emotions that we went through that day.
That's what radio is, though.
Yeah.
You know, that's exactly what radio is.
Yeah, it's very personal.
Yep.
Intimate.
I want to wish all the people here at PLJ good luck. And we hope everything works out for you. Thank you so much for inviting us back on behalf of Patty and Brad and Joe and all of us. Thank you. And we'll see you down the road. In case you need us, you can find us over 101.1.
CBS FM.
Tomorrow morning, we're on. Thank you.
WPLJ FM and HD1, New York, a Cujo station.
It's 95.5 PLJ Reunion Day. Bringing back all your favorite DJs from the past 48 years.
WPLJ.